following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Heckma Harrison, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
It is noon on a Monday here inside the SWBC podcast studio, and it's time for another week of Mick Shots. Bill Jones along with Everson Walls, Heckma Harrison, and Mickey Spagnola. A week like none other around here as you've been listening to all the podcasts this morning. You know what we're talking about from the outset of this, and it was a week like none other last week here. Everyone's still in a state of shock, a state of mourning, and it will be for a while after the tragic passing of Marshawn Kneeland last week, and we're here to talk about that and more. Here on Mick Shots, Cowboys players just getting back in town today. Mickey, understand that they're back here on campus today for the first time after being off since last Tuesday, I guess it is. People behind the scenes here, players, coaches, and staff and so forth, they're just getting back together today, this afternoon, in fact, and trying to sort through and what happened last Thursday. And our prayers and condolences remain with the Kneeland family and his girlfriend, Catalina. And we're all just still pretty much in a state of shock.
Yeah, they are having a team meeting. I think it was going on now. Mm-hmm. And that was their first time everybody getting together. And it's going to take some time. And I think they haven't really set a schedule, but I think they're going to ease back into the football part of it. Mm-hmm. You got an extra day or two to get ready for a Monday night game against the Vegas. So, if you were on your normal schedule for a Sunday game that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you could go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. And I'm thinking this is going to be a very tough transition after everybody kind of being on their own since the passing of Marshawn Kneeland, that they're together. And I don't know about you guys, but I could remember coming in here and you process it in your mind, but until you got to verbalize and talk to other people, like I think the first time I talked to anybody, I was doing a radio segment, and all of a sudden the emotions come out and it gets difficult. So I think they're going to have to process this thing as a team together, and today's really the first time they're all together, and it's not easy. And I imagine tomorrow is not easy, and get guys' heads around trying to play football after something like this happened. And, I was thinking, I don't know about you guys, usually when you're young, 22, 23, 24, I don't know, people that pass away are usually older people, like grandparents or whatever, and you're thinking, well, they're old. But when someone dies your own age, boy, that's a hard one to deal with for guys
in the locker room
that have to process somebody passing away. That's their friend next door to them, right? And so, this is going to take some time. And I know on Thursday they actually, I get my days mixed up. They had people here, if anybody needed to come in and talk, that they could do so.
I don't recall us having to deal with anything like this, especially during the season. I can't recall any teammates from the 80s, even the 70s,
right?
where someone, within the locker room It was immediately gone. I don't think we've had to deal with that.
Cowboys have had it
This is like
a couple of times with Marcus Paul, the strength coach, several in 2000, and then Jerry Brown
20.
in 2012, something like that. It was early on in Jason Garrett's time, which was the car wreck, and it was a Friday night before they were departing to go to a game.
We didn't know, and most people didn't find out about it until we showed up for the charter flight on Saturday morning. Yeah, that was one of Jason Garrett's toughest days because there was no day in between. You were flying to Cincinnati and you were playing the next day. Marcus Paul, it was the day before Thanksgiving here. The medical emergency and passed away, and the next day they had to play a game. So this, at least, I don't know if it helps, hurts, whatever. You've had time to process things before you've got to play another game. So yeah, this is gonna it'll be tough. But as Bill said, they've had to go through stuff like this previously.
I think when you start talking about it, it's, when is it a good time to start sharing? When is it a good time to, consider, your fellow man's feelings and things of that nature? I would have to guess that, there's more than one person in that locker room that's dealing with mental issues. That's just facts. There's a lot more people around the league that having to deal with this. And with him passing the way he did, that could trigger some people. And that's what's concerning about it to me, is who else is out there thinking that. We walk around here all the time and we criticize people or even praise people and things of that nature. We make it is as if things are, should always be normal. You think that everyone has the same mindset. We might think differently on how we vote or who we hang with, but we always have the mindset that he doesn't have any issues. He don't have any issues. Everything's fine with him. Seems like he's fine. He's walking around here. Let's go with him. The guy just scored a touchdown. He's got a girlfriend, and what could be wrong? Those kind of things are really they kind of mask what's really happening with a lot of people. Like I said, not just in the locker room, even in this building. So, you think about players is one thing, but you've got employees around here as well.
Yeah.
They might need to talk to somebody.
It's a reminder for me, fellas, that, anytime I start a show, anytime I've ever got an opportunity to do a show, I start the shows the same way, and I won't change from that. For asking the panel, everyone, my co-hosts, how are you? And the reason why I do that, my why for doing that, is I lost a good friend in high school to suicide. And the thing that happens in the wake of someone committing suicide is the why. Could I have had a conversation with them to have changed what happened? And that's what his family and friends and people closest to him, the guys over there in his locker room, they're dealing with that right now. He was right here next to me. And did I see it? What could I have said to him? And, dealing with that, man, anybody that I come in contact with, I want to know that I at least asked you, how are you? And search for that answer. And if there is anything going on, we can have a conversation right there, because all of this is just superficial. It's just on the surface, for real. And when you talk about it by the numbers, yeah, there are people, everybody dealing with something. If you think about it, everybody is dealing with something. And it doesn't matter about his age. He's 24 years old. And I think that hits home when you think about a man that basically the world is his oyster. He has everything going on for himself. And he was in pain. He was broken, and nobody could get through to him to change his mind on the act that he committed. And that's the saddest part about it for people. And I think when you talk about, Everson, the differences that we have in each other with one another, the way that people vote, the way that people think, people's hang-ups in the world, we're more connected than we really know. And if we just stopped and realized that you're a person, and we treated each other right, not just during times like these, but at all times. It's just a constant reminder of that. And when when we got the call and the news spread, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to think about that. But more heartbreaking for the people that have those same questions in their head right now. He was right here. Could I have? And that's devastating. But, as football fans, as humans, as people, we just have to be more mindful of that and deal with one another and to that degree that we understand that we're flesh and blood. With these flesh suits that we wear are very sensitive in a lot of ways. And so I just I hope that everyone has an opportunity to check in to themselves, but other people, but then understand that this tragic thing that happened, man, we need to connect to one another more than ever now.
You know what? Go ahead.
Well, one thing, Chris Beam has what Dak Prescott had to say about it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, in fact, CBS 11, when we heard about it, we knew that Dak was going to be at his old high school for the dedication of Prescott Field on Thursday night, and so we sent a crew there and to cover that and to hear from Dak. And Chris, you got that? What Dak had to say on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from Dak now.
Yeah, it's been a very tough day. As you said, it started early this morning, finding out the news. Tragic loss. I hurt, heavy heart today. I heard from Marshawn. I heard for his family. I heard for his girlfriend. I heard for every single one of my teammates. This is a pain that you don't wish upon anybody. You wish none of us had to go through this. You wish Marshawn didn't have to go through what he went through. And just thankful for each moment we have in this life, and don't take it for granted. And hug and love on those that you do. It's okay to feel however you're feeling. And I'll tell you first and foremost, I don't always have the answers. And today's not a day that I felt like I had answers. Triggering day for many reasons, on top of just knowing that this was a had today, and hard to balance my emotions today, and not a day that I have words other than I love you for friends and families and people who may be struggling.
What are you going to say to your teammates when you see them again?
Yeah, that I love them. Obviously, we had a Zoom call, and a few people that spoke did an amazing job. But as I said, it's tell that person how I feel about them when I see them. Tough moment for this team. As I said, I feel and hurt for everybody that's involved in this, and Marshawn's families and loved ones.
So there, you talk about the Everson, the time where people can express. They had a Zoom call even on Thursday amongst the brothers on the team, sounds like, and that's probably what's going on right now. But obviously, Dak, he's gone through this personally in his own life, and that's in that same defensive line room with Marshawn. Solomon Thomas lost his sister Ella to suicide, and he and his mom and dad, Chris and Martha, have been outspoken, and they have a foundation that's been established, the Defensive Line Foundation, I think is what it's called, dealing with mental health issues and suicide prevention. And so there's it's hit very close to home for guys on that team, and I'm sure just like with you, Heckma, there are others. It's where it's touched our lives for sadly in so many ways.
You know what struck me this weekend, and you guys know what I did going back to school. All over campus, and the timing of this really hit me. There were signs on the sidewalk about mental depression all over, and it wasn't because of this. They was painted there, and it had phone numbers to call if you need help. And I saw that, and I was like, God, it's real out there, and it just hit me.
when you start thinking about this, I think as I got older, we always had our anger when we were younger, but as I got older, I just started to really appreciate what was around me. And so, when I come in here, when you ask me how I'm doing well because I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let any of that stuff bother me. I don't worry about money or how much of this and legacy and all that kind of stuff, because when it's all said and done, we put a lot of pressure on people that have a name, whether it's in this building or whether it's in your community. Well, there are people that we hardly even hear of. There are people we pass by every day in this hallway. Mm-hmm. You don't know what they're going through. And sometimes I do think about that when I walk by somebody and, we ain't always perfect, but, the moments that you say, you know what, what's going on? Just speak. Look them in the eyes and speak. When I do autograph sessions, I take a long time because I talk to people. Mm-hmm. I've seen superstars on this team from the past and even the future, and they just sign and boom, sign and boom, sign and boom. And I hanging out with Ron Springs, hanging out with Drew Pearson, getting that culture from those guys about how you have to treat fans, how you have to treat the people that you meet. And so when I do those autograph sessions, I want to treat them the way I would want to be treated if I was a kid or a grown-ass man that wanted to have an autograph. And it's not just, once again, it's not about autographs. It's about communicating with people. Just on an organic level. You don't have to be articulate or anything. Just talk to a person, look them in the eyes. My mom taught me that too. Mm-hmm. But look them in the eyes, stand up straight, and just, speak. And so those things, I think, goes a long way in, giving me some type of happiness in life.
And people deal with pressure differently, right? I could think back to, I don't know if you guys, when you were in college, the pressure of succeeding, mm-hmm. like, make sure you're passing this mm-hmm. test or this grade. And sometimes it was tough. I can remember sitting under a tree wondering, what am I doing? Am mm-hmm. I getting this right? Mm-hmm. Am I going to succeed? And I would imagine I wasn't by myself, the kids in college.
That's why those
pressure.
Numbers were on the side.
Yeah. And
mm-hmm.
and that really struck me, having seen that like 2 days later, mm-hmm. And I thought back sitting under that tree going, if I don't do this well,
right,
what am I going to do with my life? Because this is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. Those pressures that people have are different, especially at a young age.
It definitely happens at a young age. I was 15, 16 years old, getting in trouble all the time, and wasn't playing sports at all. When a 15-year-old, 16-year-old don't have sports in his life, man, and that's trivial compared to what's going on now. But those are the kind of things, that you have to overcome in life to give you that confidence, And some don't overcome it.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is.
24 years old. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the one I just kept saying, 24 and thinking about being 24 and not having anything figured out at 24 years old. I have an 18-year-old son at home that he can go around the world on his phone, if he wants to. And, the imagery that he sees every day, my wife and I are very aware of it, and we're always tapping in with him just to talk about the pressure mm-hmm. that these young people have on them. I mean, that's important to know that they have an outlet, with or without sports. Mm-hmm. It's because, you've heard the comparison is the thief of joy, and social media makes it where people are comparing themselves all the time. Mm-hmm. And you would think, and again, just not knowing exactly what a person is going through, that's the world that we currently live in. Yep. And so those little small things that you were just talking about, just having the common decency to speak to people, because you absolutely have no idea. And specifically with our young people, making sure that we make them understand that they are, and even Cowboys, that you're not just a number. You're not just this thing, man. You matter to so many people, and if there was something that happened to you, people would be devastated. You need to know that.
Yes.
You need to feel that, and you need to feel that responsibility, not only to them, but to yourself.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a damn good point. A lot of people do. They don't realize that some people are watching. They don't realize that some people care.
Yeah.
And so when they're sitting there by themselves, like you're talking about, sitting under a tree, all of that, you probably need somebody to talk to at that time. Or maybe you probably just need somebody to just sit there with you at some time.
Sometimes you need a hug.
That's it. That's it.
If you could talk about the brotherhood that exists on a team and how in this, like they're meeting right now as brothers. Okay, they just lost a brother. And just what who haven't been on a professional sports team or has been since high school, since we've been on a team, what is that like, and what kind of impact does something like this have on that whole brotherhood?
I think in some cases, you will find yourself closer to people that you never imagined that you'd be closer to, because it's something that you guys kind of had in common in regards to a tragedy. Locker rooms it's its own ecosystem. You've got cliques here and cliques there, but it's amazing how once you're in that locker room and once you're on the field, you all come together for the same cause. And I always marveled at how different coaches handled that. Parcells, it was, you guys just listen to what I say and you'll be okay. Parcells, when he talked about the team, when he dealt with the team, he realized how important it was for the players to be of one. And so he would always, when he would piss you off, he would piss off the whole team. He would rather the whole team be pissed off at him in unison, you see. So that was always, to me, the closest locker room that I've ever had. Doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter, whatever your background is. When you're in that locker room, it's a good thing, but you're forced to be social with someone that you have nothing in common with. And sometimes we have to do that. We have to force these things to come together, because otherwise, if you leave it to our own devices, you're going to have all the blacks sitting over here, all the whites sitting over here, all the old guys sitting over here, all the young guys over here, and that's just not a locker room. You got to bring those factions together.
Parcells had that sign out at Valley Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
What did it say?
Something about
famous saying.
Something about losers hang around in small groups.
Yes.
Clips.
Yes.
And winners are all together.
That's right.
One.
That's right.
And he tried to perpetuate. That's why, it makes me think back to the car crash with Josh Brent and Jerry Brown passing away, and having to play a football game after they all found out about it the next day. I don't know if you credit who, but Jason Garrett had to get those guys ready to play a football game.
Yeah.
And they beat the Bengals with a walk-off field, 20-19, I think it was. And it was like, whatever you're known as a coach, to get that done was, rather magnificent. And the weird thing was they were talking about, what was the analogy? It was the Cowboys' 53rd season in their history. His number was 53.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, think about it. So, but that they came together and overcame all that grief for a guy that had been in the locker room with them a day ago, right? And to win a football game, it was pretty powerful.
I think regardless of the outcome of the season or next week's game or whatever, the toughest part is trying to come together and be competent. Do we stay selfish and just worry about problems we're having? Do we become more empathetic, to the people in that locker room? Is someone in there looking at a former teammate or a current teammate and understanding now what this guy's going through, and hopefully we have some breakthroughs in that locker room. That's really one you look forward to. And it has nothing to do with the names or who did this or who was the captain or whatever. You know, this is a time where some guys that you aren't even aware of on your team that might be someone that can help you at this point. It could be someone in that locker room now. You're not even close to them right now.
See, and you know, the other thing we got to consider is when they open that locker room, the media's going to be in there.
Yeah.
We're all going to be in there, right? And what are the questions? It ain't about the Raiders.
Right.
And now, are you ready to talk about it? Are you ready to express your feelings?
I mean,
that's another thing you got to overcome.
We're looking at players as if they are so unique in some way. What about the media?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are media. I mean, you guys have problems? You got issues? Mm-hmm. I'm sure you do. Mm-hmm. You know, but you're trying to cover something.
Yeah.
You know, some media, they don't even know how to cover something like this.
All I know is last night before the game, the Sunday night game, when they did the memorial thing for Marshawn Kneeland and Tagliabue, and they put him up there, tears welled in my face. I can guarantee you. It was like, and I saw that so many times, the college games and things like that, but national TV, you know, asking for a moment of silence is pretty powerful.
All right. There are some football-related things to get to in the course of the next 25 minutes or so here on Mick Shots. We'll get to that when we come back here in just a moment.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Cowboy fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience the best sports venue in the world, AT&T Stadium. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your package today.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Go.
Get in the game this holiday season with Dallas Cowboys youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Athletes 6 to 16. Take the holiday hustle to football camps on December 23rd and 27th. Future DCCs sparkle with America's sweethearts on December 27th. Spend your holiday break learning from the best. Register before December 1st to save $25. Visit DallasCowboys.com/camps to learn more.
All right, we're back here on Mick Shots. Breaking news around the NFL. The New York Football Giants have fired their head coach, Brian Daboll, after a fourth straight loss. Mike Kafka named the interim head coach of the Giants. It was not a good day for New York Giants football yesterday with a come from ahead loss to the Chicago Bears, right?
Come from ahead.
Come on, Everson. Talk about your other boys.
Who was that?
The Giants.
The Giants. I really thought Dable was going to stick around. They really have a nice team. They have a good team. They got a good quarterback. He's just young and a little wild, but
he's good when he doesn't have a concussion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does.
I think that's what happened too. He went out of the game, and then Russ came in and didn't cook.
But that's not on Dable. That's just not on Dable. I think, blaming that game on him,
I think it's something that they were going to do anyway, and they just decided, let's just do it now.
Yeah, but if
I don't.
Who you got?
It's unlike the Giants, right?
It is. Who you got?
Knee-jerk decision.
Yeah, I mean, the NFC East is very weird. The whole season's weird this year.
Very weird or very weak?
I wouldn't say weak. Inconsistent.
Look what the Commanders are doing right now.
Inconsistent.
You think the Cowboys have problems with their defense?
Oh man.
What about Dan Quinn?
Well, so do you put that on your quarterback? Not having a good your starting quarterback? Creating problems for your defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not being able to maintain drive, stay on the field, poor field position, all of that is to take it into account.
Mm-hmm.
But they're getting drove right now. Washington.
Yeah.
If you watch that game versus Detroit.
Yeah. And the Seattle game last week. Yeah.
But then it's like I'm watching the Chicago New York game, and I'm like, we need this, all right? We need the Giants to beat Chicago. They had the lead, and the quarterback goes out.
I forgot. We're still in the hunt.
Yes. Yes. And I'm like, come on. I'm finding myself. I'm like, come on, Giants. Pull it out. You got a big lead. You're nursing that lead. Don't forget about this lead. Oh, my gosh. And all of a sudden, Chicago, just like that, man. It didn't take them long.
And at 6-3, they're the 7th seed right now.
Unbelievable. At 6-3.
They could have been 5-4 very easily.
Yeah. Oh, I think, we were having the conversation of last week about are you bought in on Carolina? And yeah.
Hey, how about this?
Rico still talking trash.
Yeah, seatbelt time. Seatbelt time, huh?
All right, there's 3 games in particular yesterday, okay, that were, not necessarily shocking results because one of them was very predictable, but these were at least 3 games that were great examples of teams not being able to handle success.
Started Miami, Buffalo.
No, I'm going to start with Carolina.
Okay.
What did Carolina do last week? Mm-hmm. They beat Green Bay.
Yep.
On the road, wasn't it? They beat Green Bay. Mm-hmm. They have a chance to go to 6-4 on the season with a 1-win Saints team coming in a home game.
Saints.
And they score 7 points. They lose 17-7.
Correct.
Okay. All right, they showed what they are.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's an immature team. They can't handle success. Mm-hmm. But you mentioned Buffalo. Now, this is a veteran team, but they beat Kansas City last week, a Kansas City team that record-wise isn't the best in the league, but was playing as well as anybody in the league coming into last week's game. And then Buffalo doesn't even show up against the Dolphins.
Yeah, South Beach got them.
A team that can't wait to get rid of their coach.
And then I'll give you another team. That was a team that chartered a jet full of fans to come to AT&T Stadium last week.
Come on.
Okay. The Arizona Cardinals played their Super Bowl last week. And then they go to Seattle this week, a division game, and they're down 35-0 4 minutes into the second quarter.
Hey.
Second quarter.
Yes.
I just wanted to
4 minutes
right there.
As I saw
second quarter. It was 35-0.
And hey, I'll tell you what I was thinking.
As Cowboy fans, we took that very personal.
And
yes. Marvin Harrison. I'm like, oh man, Marvin Harrison is the
He's
man.
ready now.
Hey, I'm telling everybody your fantasy, you like, man, you better start Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, he's matched up against Reek Woolen, who was on the trading block just last week.
And then you watch his carriage turn back into a pumpkin in real time.
It was so predictable. In fact, I said it last week.
You knew it.
I said
My
it last
son
week.
said the same thing.
I said, or another podcast I do, the Jonesing for Football podcast, I said the pressure is on Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals after what they did on Monday. They're now going to go to Seattle, and as well as that Seattle defense is playing, and not only from a sack standpoint, I think he was sacked 5 times in a game, but just the Cardinals in general, they're going to go up there and they are going to lay an egg. Yeah. And I didn't realize it was going to be that big of an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and I don't know if this is a reflection on the Cowboys or not, but look what Denver's done offensively since that game. They scored 10 points.
Yeah.
And then the game before, was it a walk-off field goal to get to
it was like 19,
20
17.
or something?
It was 18-15 against Houston the week before.
18-15.
Yeah.
That's been who they've been in the fourth quarter, the comeback kids. They just didn't have to do that against us.
Well, I scored enough that no one could overcome that.
I think it's still us. I think it's still us. I think we were the reason that they were up high, not necessarily. It was because of us. We were the ones that, made them look good. And that's not the first time we've done that.
Well, I figured the Cowboys went into their idle weekend with 10 teams with better records than them. They emerged with 10 teams.
I thought about that this week. I'm like, I wonder where we are now.
They're still 11th. And of the teams that are ahead of them, they've lost to 4 of them and tied 1 of them.
Yeah. Hey, you just got to control what you can control.
That's right.
And that's the NFC East. Yeah. That's why that Philadelphia game
tonight
is so it's so big, and I'm clock watching on everybody. I'm watching, for Green Bay, I'm watching Philly, I'm watching all the teams in the NFC, the Bears specifically. I'm watching them, Carolina.
I am rooting so badly against the Chicago Bears every game.
The poor Bears. They've suffered so long.
Well, they seem to be just finding luck everywhere, because they have is it 6 in a row they won?
No, not that many. I don't think.
What is it? They are 6-3.
They're 6-3 though.
Yeah, well, that's enough.
So tonight, you pulling for the Packers or the Eagles?
Well, I'm
at the mindset, since you got the Eagles left on your schedule. Okay, that, like what you said, think about the division. Mm-hmm. And so it would be Eagles need to lose.
And as you pointed out,
because you only got 1 team to catch in your division.
Right.
You got 4 teams to catch, 5 teams to catch in the wild card.
Got to overcome that many. And as you pointed out last week, not the Eagles not after Green Bay, they've got Detroit, right? And then the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, realistically speaking, they're in a tough stretch right now, their season. But yeah, go Pack.
Go Pack, go.
No, I'm not gonna finish that. I'm not gonna finish that. I'm not gonna finish the last part of that. No, I just need them to pull this one off. Yeah, just go back. Yeah, just cut it off. Hey, Micah, hey, the familiarity there with Jalen Hurts and that team. So come on, we need a lot. We need a lot of help at this point. But again, we can help ourselves.
Have to help ourselves.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Monday night at Vegas. By the way, the Bears have won 6 of their last 7 games.
So there it is.
And it started with the Cowboys?
Started with the Cowboys game.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. They lost their first 2, and they've won 6 of their last 7.
Yeah, 6 of the last 7.
Yeah. All right, we continue with more Mick shots in just a moment.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal, writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide, because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started. and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Cowboys Nation, Tom Gibson has been named your 2025 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, for his dedication to the team and spicing up the game. Vote for Tom to be named the ultimate NFL Fan of the Year at NFL.com/Fan of the Year.
All right. Congratulations, Tom. Okay.
Tom.
We continue on Mick Shots. And by the way, starting with Monday's game, as you all know, starting with Monday's game at the Las Vegas Raiders, the Cowboys play 3 games in 11 days, 4 games in 18 days.
Here we go.
You got the Raiders on Monday. You got the Eagles here the following Sunday. You got the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, and then at the Lions the following Thursday.
Then Chargers, Minnesota.
Yeah, but we're just dealing with the here and now.
No, I just want to remind
And then
everybody
you got the other
6 straight.
You do have a little mini
playoff
bye
teams
after
from
that
last
Lions
year.
game.
Yeah.
And
we brought this up last week.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what Marcus Lawrence did Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, yeah, saw that.
First time in NFL
History that a player recovered fumbles and returned for touchdowns that were for more than 20 yards.
in the first 15 minutes of a game, basically.
Yeah. And only 6 guys had 2 fumble recoveries in a half since 1991 for a touchdown. But not only that, he had 4 tackles, a half a sack, a tackle for a loss, and 3 quarterback hits.
God.
Which goes back to what we were talking about. I need out of my defensive ends. It's not all about sacks.
Oh my God! Here's the cup. Go to the restroom. What a performance by DeMarcus Lawrence, man. He's found the fountain of youth in Seattle. I thought that was crazy when I saw it.
Did you see the plays?
Yes.
Yeah,
Both of them 1 hops.
Yeah, it's crazy.
On the run.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
He's the man on that one.
Yeah, this is
Somebody else did the dirty work, and he just gave, thank you very much.
That's right. And now he's in record books.
Sometimes that's how it's got to be, man. Great job.
I know we're having a tough day around here, but I also got to give some love. I know he's only a basketball player, but Lenny Wilkins, man, he was.
Oh yeah, Lenny Wilkins passed away at age 88.
Yeah, trailblazer, and just did so much for the NBA. A little bitty guy call him little bitty, but he was little bitty when it came to being on the court with all the big guys. Just having all the heart that he had, be able to bring a championship to. Did he bring his championship to the Supersonics? Seattle?
He did.
Supersonics.
They're only one, I believe.
So he went in
before
as a
they
coach.
moved away.
He's in the Hall of Fame as a coach and a player. Yeah.
And you know what? And I know no one ever gives love to a commissioner, but Paul Tagliabue did make a difference in the NFL, if you think about it.
The commissioner's always a guy that we dump on.
Yeah, everybody gets booed.
Right.
Well, if you think about it, he had the wherewithal. Was it 91 when they did the TV contract with Fox?
Something like that.
Remember, they were going to give money back to the networks, and Jerry was like, no, wait a minute. And that's when they brought in Fox, and at least he listened to the new owners, because the old guard was going to we'll just keep going the way we're going. He was in charge when they expanded from 28 to 32 teams, and Nate Newton will tell you this, that when Tagliabue became the commissioner, they came down hard on banning steroids, like making sure, and Nate Newton has said it so many times. He said if it wasn't for Tagliabue, a fat offensive lineman like me would have never, right? Because the other guys were artificially big, right? Nate was just big. And he said he allowed
organically big.
He allowed me to have a career in the NFL because he got down on the steroid thing. And
so Tagliabue became commissioner
89.
89?
17 years.
Okay. And I remember Jerry often tells a story about when he bought the Cowboys, how many 300-pound offensive linemen were in the league? How many? What do you think?
2.
5.
4, I think, is the number that Jerry has always
And I'll guarantee
there
you.
were 4 300-pound offensive linemen. And today, you would be hard-pressed
not to find
if you don't
under 300 pounds.
You'd be hard-pressed to find one under 300-pound offensive lineman in the league. There may be 1 or 2, but
And I'll guarantee you the Cowboys had none. Because Tom wanted 260-pound offensive linemen.
You want to make them move lateral. Yeah.
And I can remember Nate, when he got here and he looked around and he's going, oh, hell, I got no shot. He looked at the offensive lineman, and here he comes in at 340, and they want to name him the kitchen.
Right.
We already had the fridge.
We had the fridge. They named Nate the entire kitchen.
Yeah.
Not just an appliance.
He was the whole deal.
That wasn't cool because fridge was way bigger than he was.
That's right.
Fridge was way bigger than
And I'm remiss because the assistant equipment guy, Jerry, I can't remember his
Fowler?
name. Jerry what?
Jerry Fowler?
No, I don't think it was Fowler.
You talking about our guy?
Yeah,
Jerry Fowler.
Was it Fowler?
Yeah.
The assistant.
Thank you.
Equipment man. He's the one that came up with the name because they didn't have pants big enough for Nate.
Yeah.
It's just wow. I'm thinking 91, all of the guys during that time that you suspected were juicing, coming out of college that didn't make it, So that's that was quite a turn of events for the offensive line.
That was the knock on. It was the second pick in the draft.
Mandrich,
right?
Yeah, of course.
Got to the NFL.
That wasn't a knock.
But he
that was not a knock.
Being polite.
Yeah, he was.
He just couldn't play.
Right. that too.
Hey, steroids or other, it didn't matter. It wasn't helping him.
He was roided up and sorry.
And Jerry and Jimmy were acting like, well, we like Troy, but this Mandrich guy. And it's,
man.
Give it up. Don't even come up with it, right?
Oh my gosh.
That's when we used to go in and talk to Jimmy on, was it Monday?
Yep.
He would listen
Monday after a game.
The 3 beat writers.
Oh, okay.
And after they finally got Aikman and whatever. And he had been talking about Mandrich, too, and they were playing that game, right? And Ed Werder walked in, and he gave Jimmy a deck of cards. Like, okay, you were just playing poker.
Right.
Trying to fool everybody. And you know what? He kept that deck of cards until he left. They were sitting on his desk like
That's funny.
Like it was a trophy.
They found me out.
There's no way they were going to get
Mandrich.
And how many times did he use that deck of cards? I mean, in his dealings, he played poker a lot.
He did.
All right. So that does it for today. We're out of time. We got much to get to the rest of the week here on Mick Shots, and we'll chat at you again tomorrow at high noon.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!